Hi guys, it's Michelle here with Next Chapter Counseling. I am making my final video today in what turned into basically a three-part video series about attraction. The first video I made was about if you're in a relationship and feeling attraction to somebody else, how you can manage that attraction. If you are in a relationship but your partner's feeling attracted to someone else, how you can cope with that. And today I wanted to make a video about non-monogamy. I'm going to use the word polyamory. That's kind of the umbrella term for what it means when you are in a relationship with more than one person, where you have a sexual relationship with multiple people or an emotional relationship with multiple people, or both a sexually and emotionally intimate relationship with multiple people, what that means, and how to determine if polyamory may be a better fit for you than monogamy. I mentioned it in the very first video that I did, that even though it's considered pretty taboo, especially in American culture here and in many cultures around the world, that if you are in a monogamous relationship and you are feeling attraction towards somebody else, that this means something is wrong with you. One of the worst things in kind of the relationship rule book, so to speak, is to feel attraction towards someone else, and especially to act on that attraction and begin a relationship, otherwise known as cheating or an affair. That's like the worst thing that you can do. But I want to kind of open up this discussion a little bit, because while there are many people in this world who want to be monogamous and that works for them and that fits for them to only be in a relationship and to remain emotionally and sexually faithful to just one person, there are other people in this world, many people, more than you might think, where that just does not work for them. And rather than beating yourself up and thinking, what is the matter with me? And I'm such a bad person because when I'm in a relationship, I regularly feel attraction towards other people and want to act on that attraction. I'm here to assure you today that it doesn't mean that anything is wrong with you. It just might mean that polyamory could be a better fit for you than monogamy when it comes to structuring your relationships. So again, I think it was important in the last two videos to basically gear those towards those monogamous couples out there where attraction doesn't happen often in their relationships, and now that it's maybe creeping in, it's wreaking havoc, especially if it's a yellow or a red attraction like I talked about in those videos. But I also want to normalize that some people experience attraction towards multiple people regularly, and that this is okay and that it's just a matter of figuring out what works best for you. So that's what today's video is about. And to start off, I want to show you guys a book that I'm going to be reading from actually quite a bit today in the video. It's a book that I read to help me understand better what polyamory is, and it's a fantastic book. So if you don't know anything about polyamory and you're curious about it, this is the book for you. It gives so much good, easy to understand information, and it does a nice job of talking about what it takes to really do polyamory right. Polyamory can get complicated because there's multiple people involved in a relationship. So it gives a lot of good examples of different relationship structures and how to figure out what works best for you. So I'm going to hold up the book here. I know it might be backwards for you guys, but I want you to see what the cover looks like. So it's kind of this orange color. It has two people holding hands, and it's called Opening Up. So the title is pretty simple to remember. And the author's name, because I don't think you can see it very well there, but it's Tristan Taormino. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's Taormino is how you spell the last name. So Opening Up is the book, and I'm going to read from it a little bit today, because it has so much good information, I can't help myself. So the first part that I'm going to read is a list of questions that the book encourages you to ask yourself. And asking yourself these questions and giving yourself some really honest answers can help you determine whether monogamy is the best relationship structure for you, or if polyamory could be a better fit based off of what you want and need out of a relationship. So I'm just going to read these lists of questions, and I encourage you to think about these. So it says, if you've been in monogamous relationships before, how did you feel in those relationships? And how did they work or not work for you? Do you believe that someone can love or be in love with more than one person at a time? What role does sex play in your relationships? How important is it to you? What does it mean to you? Can you have sex without an emotional attachment? How are sex and love related or not related? Have you ever had a friend with benefits? What worked and didn't work about the relationship? So again, these questions are really just to get you thinking about what your beliefs are related to love, sex, how those two may or may not be kind of synonymous or related in your mind, and figuring out what works and hasn't worked for you in relationships in the past. And I apologize, they're doing some construction on my building, so you might be able to hear some loud banging right now while I do this video. So now I'm going to switch to talking about a list that they also made of benefits and challenges of being in a polyamorous relationship. Being in a polyamorous relationship takes a lot of work. There can be a lot of benefits that come with it, but there's also some things that can make it maybe more challenging than a monogamous relationship just because it involves more people. So lots of pros and cons, so to speak. So I want to read this list out loud to you guys. And again, just notice if any of the benefits really hit home with you or if any of the challenges really hit home with you to, again, just help you think about, would this way of changing my relationships to be polyamorous, would this be something that could be a good fit for me? So the benefits that it names are that you can avoid feeling stifled, limited, or confined. Be free to acknowledge or to act on attractions and desires. Be free to create relationships that work for you. Have multiple sexual partners and experiences. Have multiple relationships. Get different needs met with different people. Explore different sexual or relationship dynamics. No need to end one relationship to start another. No need to be all things to one partner and vice versa. Be challenged to learn and grow through relationships. Live honestly, and work on self-awareness, jealousy, and other issues. Now, the challenges that they name are that, like I kind of said, more relationships means more work, feeling like you don't have enough time, lacking a sense of relationship security, requires solid communication and negotiation skills, requires self-reflection and intense honesty, must regularly confront feelings of jealousy and insecurity, and disapproval of friends, family, community, and society, because polyamory is still something that's really misunderstood and in general pretty frowned upon, because people don't understand why people would choose to have relationships with more than one person. So yeah, there are pros and cons the same way there are pros and cons to monogamy. So again, this is just something for you to think about in this attraction conversation that I've been having with you guys, of recognizing that it's okay to feel attraction to multiple people at once, and that there is a way for you to find relationships that allow that, and to figure out what you want your relationship to look like if monogamy just isn't the best fit for you. So I'm going to hold up the book one more time. Opening Up, that's the name of the title. Highly recommend it for you guys. And again, even if you already know that polyamory is not a thing for you, reading this book can still give so much information just about what it is and how to better understand it. Because there are lots of people who practice this way of being in relationships. All right, if you have a question for me, email it to me, nextchapter.michelle@gmail.com, and I'll be back next week with another video. Thanks, everybody.